What am I in?
1. Okay.
I'm number 1. I'm number 1.
Oh, yeah, give me like laugh loud or something. Why is that so funny?
The world is crumbling. It's crumbling.
Welcome to the super spectacular, super special summer solstice bonus episode
Of
Biting All the Apples. What's up?
Oh my gosh. First of all, it's early. I'm not used to talking to you.
I know.
Before 11 p.m. now.
Yeah, we haven't seen each other in like daylight. I'm like, oh.
I know. There's sun out.
How's it going? Yeah.
It's humid and soup-like outside.
It's so soupy.
Yeah, but yet I saw someone jogging. Go joggers.
It's so soupy with the humidity and impending war.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that's happening. That is happening right now.
Right now.
I have.
So yeah, we're recording in Bob's basement studio. And if you hear any echo, that's by design of a Michigan basement.
I love a Michigan basement.
I know.
It's actually very cool down here.
This is the place to be in the summer.
Yeah.
It really is.
Everybody should live in their basement in humid Michigan summers.
And record in their basement.
All the time.
When you're not at the studio.
Yes.
We got on TikTok like 3 months ago. And I hadn't been on social media for a good long while, even though I did social media campaigns and stuff for work, which is also why I was like, this stuff is evil. All of that aside, I'm seeing so many deconstructing Christianity TikToks. And with quality
uplifting
content, though.
Yeah, and it's valid thoughts. And I'm like, yes, this is where we have to
so I
focus.
think...
Sorry, I keep making noises with my mouth.
You know what? Since we're doing this one, we're going to make all the mouth noises, and our listeners will know how we really sound.
This is how we really sound without an editor.
When Rye is not here. Yes. So
we're noisy.
We're going to be doing a couple more bonus episodes, some review episodes, because we are moving into summertime. And at the same time, we're wrapping up the Old Testament. But we'll keep all of our millions of fans posted.
Yes. Yeah. And you're right. These people that I'm running into, because I'm seeing more of it, it is an algorithm.
Right.
But there's so many.
That's why I'm like, did we start the trend?
I mean,
I'm kidding.
Maybe.
I want to know how the whole scene was before. But there's a whole, the deconstructing Christianity, some of the folks on there are really coming out of being raised under evangelical Christianity, which is... There's a whole lot of unpacking for them to do. And then there's some that are deconstructing Christianity for its patriarchy and white supremacy, all that stuff entangled.
Yeah, there's whole different caveats you can go down. Now I see people just like questioning. It's less, not everybody has a tarot, but they're like, well, but here's some things I didn't notice before.
Right.
That are a little more eye-opening. And even some politicians.
It has to be coming to a head. So it does feel like there's a lot more right now, and it has to be because Christian nationalism has gained political power. And I think when you finally see it in action, destructive actions they take, and the lack of empathy for other people, I think it is making a lot more people go, what?
Yeah, well,
Jesus was a commie.
Yeah, well, the thing I was listening to this morning was really just about, they were talking about the national family and the structure and how and it was just like straight from what we're reading, like one man, one woman, and that's it. And then you have babies, and that's the way of the world, and that's why they loved having a daddy come in, and they were like, it was really eye-opening how far white Christian nationalism has come. When on November 6th, they were like, welcome home, daddy. And you'd see these big beefy men that would never be like, I need a daddy. And now they're like, daddy's home.
Right.
And you're like, okay, we have progressed to something a little more frightening.
Right. Much more. The daddy thing is so And if you think about, I mean, when you're looking at Christianity, it's all our Father, and that ties into how we talk about our founding fathers. And I'm like, I don't want to call them founding fathers. They were just, the founders of the nation.
They were just,
They also said that we should change with the times and adjust the Constitution as necessary.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I just had, did you see that?
Daddy.
Did I forward that to you? So obviously in the beginning of this journey, I was in a hard spot after November 5th. I started listening to Alexander Hamilton, the play, and it soothed me. And yesterday, up pops his writing desk from his museum, and a bird had flown in there and it was on No King's Day. And I was like, oh man, if I worked there, or they had people visiting. It was like 1:30, and this bird flew into his writing area and wouldn't leave. It was like a catbird. And I was like, oh, see, now this is stuff I believe in.
Birds. I do believe in birds.
I believe in birds. I believe in a transfer of energy. I do feel like all of our ancestors still have...
They're the dust.
They're here,
Just like in the Golden Compass.
Yeah. Oh.
Or the, dark materials.
Yeah. I feel that. So I feel that bird was like, oh, these people are here in Hamilton's house. I'm going to come in and just I'm going to see what they're up to on No King's Day. Because, damn it, we are not having another king. Not in my house. Not in Hamilton's house.
I love that.
Right?
Well, that's why I thought it would be good, speaking of no kings. We did it. I was in Lansing.
Yeah.
With our mutual friend Jen.
Oh, yeah. I love her.
Mm-hmm. And the Lansing No Kings thing was from noon until 6.
Oh, wow.
So,
full day.
Yeah. So, we probably came right after it had fully peaked because I'd seen pictures, and it was the whole Capitol lawn to the street,
man.
just packed. Like when we were there the one time, it was pretty
full.
Pretty full.
But was it more full?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
The pictures.
That's
but
what
when
I mean.
we got there, it wasn't as much, but it still was so great.
Impressive.
It was impressive.
Yeah, I will tell you. So I had planned to go to the Brighton one with my dad, but he's a little under the weather, and my mom was like, he can't get out of the car. And I said, well, he wants to go. I'll drive him.
Your dad's
so we
awesome.
went to 2. We went to 2, and oh my God, I'm so mad at myself. These newfangled vehicles. You get the CarPlay. So I thought I was recording. This would have been the most epic video ever. And it won't let you record because it's hooked up. So it didn't record it. And it was epic.
I hate safety features for that reason.
Downtown Howell, Michigan, which is actually nationwide known for, it always gets bad press. There are good people. But traditionally red, traditionally very Republican, at the whole county.
The whole place is, after moving back here, the conservatism is palpable.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, of course, I did move back here from Memphis, which is just a smidge, it was a tiny bit different.
Just a little.
Than Livingston County.
Yeah. Yeah. But we pulled up to the main 4. There were so many people, and my dad was so happy because he was down, right? Bad news. Like, I can't remember, something happened that morning. The No King's Day. Well, he was having that parade.
Oh, well, no,
but something...
Minnesota, Minnesota.
Oh, jeez. God, everything's so bad all the time.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, something that's so horrific, we would probably have just been talking about that for the past couple of days. So oh
my God, that's how bad it is.
So 2 Minnesota senators were shot in their homes.
Yeah. And I think it's so crazy that I forgot. I was like, something happened. But literally something is happening every day. But here we are. What do they call it? Political violence? No, they have a different name for it.
They're calling it political
like
violence.
So anyways, that happened. So everybody was like heightened, and they didn't want Minnesotans to go out at all. So they were like, cancel the protest. But I picked my dad up. We go to downtown Hall. He's a little depressed because the world is crumbling, And he, by the way, he's always been a Democrat in this area all his life. Like, we would go to the Fowlerville Fair and work at the Democrat booth, and people would like harass,
right,
from the church, like lightheartedly. Oh, Mike's the only Democrat.
Yeah, Democrat.
So we pull up to the Four Corners, and it's just all these people from the like probably 5 blocks of people constantly walking, and we're honking, and they're, like 3 to 4 deep on the in Howell, Michigan, and so we passed the first block, and then you come to the courthouse. The courthouse is full because they're doing Pride. They had a Pride.
That's awesome.
Our diversity council always does Pride every year, and so that lawn was filled. Plus, you had the No Kings marchers coming along. I think I'm recording. My dad's waving his hat. Woo! Happiness. We're happy. We're woo! And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't press record. He's like, I can't believe you. And it's illegal to drive with that. So I lost that amazing video. And he's like, all right, let's get out of here. Let's go to Brighton. We go to Brighton, and it's like 3 times that size.
I heard 5,000.
I don't know how many. I got an aerial view, and I took videos because the aerial view is like 12:45. That whole Mill Pond area was filled. I mean, just things that don't happen in Livingston County.
Right.
Then this morning, I pull in, I drop my kid off at camp, and I see my neighbor who's a Democrat. He's from California. We talk a lot. And we're chatting, and he's asking if my husband's okay, because he's brown. And like if he can help me at all, if anybody came over, he could be my safe person. And the mailman pulls up, and he's talking, and you can tell he's one of us in the county.
Wow.
So my neighbor had went to Farmington on the No Kings Day. Mm-hmm. I had went to Howell and Brighton. Mm-hmm. You went to Lansing. And my mailman had went to Fenton. And they all had big showings.
Well, my original plan, because I was going to do more like video and photography stuff, is I was like, let's do a demonstration crawl. Ooh, yeah. But we couldn't even get to Ann Arbor.
Well, I don't think the mass of people.
It was nuts. Yeah.
Did they say how many you were there? It was
no. I haven't. And I'll tell you that I've been going to protests for, as I know you have too.
Yes. Since the Iraq War.
I was going to say, yeah, back in.
I didn't do any. I really started when I was in Seattle.
Yeah.
For the Iraq War.
Yeah.
And I went in some pretty big ones. And
Seattle knows how to do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would stand at Green Lake every Saturday. You know what? W and Cheney didn't listen.
They didn't listen
squat.
to
and
that.
I was like, oh, no, this is going to change the world. Because I remember seeing France, and the Seattle walk was it was the biggest thing I've ever been in my entire life. And I'm like, they're going to stop it.
And then you're like, no. So you know what? That leads into... I had some comments on a post because online, supposedly, like the young kids are like, going to a protest is like, you might as well just go to like the, farmer's market and all this stuff. And I had comments. My post must have gotten on the wrong side of TikTok.
You were like,
but just so many people are like, it didn't do anything, or it didn't do anything. It didn't do anything. I think people don't understand that kind of organization, getting millions of people together to protest in over 1,800 protests across the United States is so huge, and it is about visibility. It is not, we were not doing a direct action, which is a different thing than a protest. It was coming together to show like visual opposition to the people in charge, but also to each other, because people need to remember. I keep on saying people, this is your lecture.
Yeah, listen to
everybody.
us.
Hold in your brains at all times that authoritarianism is meant to confuse and isolate you. So the value of getting out and being around thousands of people that are like, no, you're not crazy.
Yeah.
This is legitimately bullshit.
Yeah, especially with the propaganda in L.A.
Yeah, there's so much.
So people were scared. I saw a lot of people talking. I didn't want to go. I was a little frightened. But once I got there, oh my gosh, I was so glad I went. So now even more people know that we can peacefully do this.
Right.
And the next one,
right.
I think I'm hoping for another 3.5.
Well, this one was double the size
4%.
of, what was the first one we went to that was just the...
Yeah, that was April 5th.
That's right.
I think, yeah. So I went in February.
That was
I
exciting.
went in April.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
so it started in February.
And so it'll continue to grow. The other thing that I want to make clear is I don't like the, crapping on people protesting like, oh, it's just performative, you're just doing this and that. Just for a visual example, in Lansing, we saw the raddest, and he was an elderly gentleman with a walker, and his protest sign was taped to the front of it. So, and I'm like, yeah, that guy's he's not gonna get his teeth punched in for democracy on the front line. He's not, there's different actions for everybody. There's different ways to show your support. And there's also like a lot of people that can't go. I know some of our friends, it's not safe for them
No, yeah.
to be out.
No.
So
Not
it's kind of
today's
ableist and like, be cool. We're
But
trying.
it is important. The visual and the small towns is what really got me.
It is hard to, I know some other, our Michigan listeners would probably get it. But if you are not from this area, it is positively mind-blowing. Like, I would have been happy if you were like, oh, like 150 people came to Howell. I'd be like, oh, wow.
Yeah. So conservative.
Yeah.
Yeah. And their big response to us, they were sending their big trucks that they've modified. It's called rolling coal, which is disgusting. It's basically modifying your car to be pollution. And they're all over in this county. It's they modify it so it blows the black smoke. There's a ton of big trucks that do that.
I did not. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
I should know this is being back in the country.
It's disgusting. You'll see them now. Now that you know, whenever you see, you're like, oh, he backfired. No, it's on purpose. They modify it. They modify it on purpose. It doesn't burn the fuel, so it sends more particulate into the... It's basically you're helping climate change on purpose. And they'll say, like, I'm going to burn diesel to make up for your hybrid. Those kind of stickers. Yeah.
I would like to invite people that have the rebellious spirit. Just so you know, I appreciate it. I appreciate...
Right? You appreciate that?
No, well, I appreciate the sentiment and that desire to be like, don't tell me what to do, blah, blah. I just feel like we could... refocus that.
Right.
There's a lot of better ways to stick it to the man. Maybe it is about owning the libs. But
the lovely thing was he rolled smoke on the crowd, and it'll cover you. It's like you know what, like when a coal train goes by. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
so he did it, but guess what? The police pulled him over, and it was joyous.
And the other quick news item, how they changed the guidelines for VA healthcare providers.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I just heard that.
Where they no longer, or they can refuse service to anyone, that's not married, or how they, their
Is that for real? That's for real happening?
So it is for real. Now, I'm sure some people could spin it more because it's not like they sent out a thing that was like, and from now on you can do this. They just removed the protections from the wording.
They said you can.
They didn't say like
the providers can.
They can't. No, they removed, they said they have a list of things that you're not allowed to discriminate or refuse service for. And they removed that type of stuff like marital status, political beliefs. But I do know, I have some insider... Because I know a VA healthcare provider.
You sure do.
And she's like, I don't think doctors are going to refuse service.
Yeah. It's just merely performative.
But I mean, it could be. But also, even if one doctor refuses service to an unmarried woman or somebody because they voted a certain way, that is horrible.
Yeah.
But this is the other thing. I hope people are thinking about how doctors feel right now with their hands tied between criminalizing reproductive care and then health insurance companies pretty much running patient care.
Yeah, it's awful.
Now, and then these types of things. And if they're trying that out in the VA, who knows if they'll extend that to Medicaid and Medicare, anything where the federal government is, I mean.
It's always, they always start somewhere, and then it does seem to always trickle in.
Right. Other thing that we did last week is we went to a special screening.
Oh my gosh.
Of the re-release.
25-year anniversary.
That's right. Of Dogma, of Kevin Smith's Dogma.
Oh my gosh. And how that came together. What kind of manifestation was that?
So awesome.
I mean, we're meant to be together.
We are meant to be together.
Out of Minerva-like, out of Sarah's brain.
Everything's coming Minerva-like out of my brain. Thank you, Elizabeth Cady Stanton. I'll have to, I'm going to play some of the audio that I took.
Yeah.
But so Kevin Smith, we saw it at, the historic Howell Theater, which I was surprised they were playing it. Dogma is a religious movie about angels, but they're also evil. I'm not doing a good job.
Well, no, it's basically you're talking about the Bible stories and the Catholic Church. And apparently, listening to Kevin Smith, I don't remember a big hullabaloo, but I think the Catholic Church was really irritated that they made it.
It didn't go down well back then.
It probably wouldn't go down.
That's why it's not streaming right now.
But yeah, but the 25, but it is like all the crazy stuff about religion made into an amazing movie. Like Dogma. I mean, that's what Dogma is, right? If you've ever listened to any George Carlin, just imagine him as like the head of a Catholic church in your neighborhood.
So
and
it's so great. It's got Matt Damon, Ben Affleck. We've got Salma Hayek. And I mean,
Jason Lee.
Oh my, so many. But the
Janine Groff.
I'm here for Dogma. We're both here for Dogma.
Dogma and snacks. I think it's 2.5.
Recorded Q&A with Kevin Smith at the end of the movie. If you want to stay.
What is it?
There's a Q&A that goes about half an hour long. Yeah, if you want to stay. Nobody stayed after the 4 o'clock.
Stop.
Yeah. It's really good.
In the theater, is it loud?
It's so loud.
It is.
I mean, this is an old theater.
It's a big old booming sound system.
Someone threw him out of a plane with a message written on him like in Con Air. Did you ever see that flick?
Oh, that sucks! Look at that con shit! Kill it! Sounds familiar?
Jesus, are you okay?
Yeah, it's Rufus, and yeah,
It is.
It was excellent.
It was way funnier than I remember.
Right. I think we've had a lot more life experience since 1999.
I know. And then like Chris Rock calls out the Catholic Church for being like, they're like the slave trade and the Holocaust.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, people have been talking about that for
Oh my gosh, the Bible stuff was great. I knew what they were talking about. I see. I probably didn't know that back then.
I know. That's why I was like, there's no way we knew that shit when we watched that in 99.
No way.
And it wasn't, okay, and I liked it, but not just for the nostalgia's sake. I
No,
was like,
because it
that
was-
shit is good.
Yeah, it was good. It talked about feminism. It talked about
Oh, that's right, God's a
everything.
woman.
God's a woman.
Oh my God.
And
oh my God.
smoting.
They said smoting and smiting. I was like, I'm gonna fall out of this chair.
Smoting. Oh, I'd never even heard of smoting.
We're watching the credits right now. It says, God, whose idea it was to make both this film and me. Oh my, should have been called. Kevin Smith does a Q&A, should have been called a lot of A.
There we go. Dogma, kids! Wow, the overwhelming feeling I had while watching it was, Christ, we were young.
It is so fun to revisit something from 25 years ago. The best after we watched the movie, I was like, that just seems so much better. And you're like, well, I think we've like learned some stuff.
Learned the Bible. We actually, I'm like, I was like, oh man, I wouldn't even have known that if we didn't read the women's Bible.
Yeah,
So there was so much stuff that went over my head in 1999.
I know. And even though, we were like cradle Catholics, so we knew and found it funny back then and stuff. But I loved, and then as a special bonus thing for this tour of Dogma, they play like a half-hour Q&A session with Kevin Smith. First thing I want to say is I just love how much he curses.
I know, right?
I really feel at home. I was like, he drops more F-bombs than I do.
He's great.
But he was raised Baptist and went to a Catholic school.
Oh my! So he was
So he
full of the
knows.
knowledge
He knows.
because the way that was written was awesome, and his story of getting George Carlin to be the cardinal was fantastic. Because George Carlin was just like, he was like, man, I looked up to you, and George was like, yeah, I think I helped you write this movie. Yeah,
So good. It's so good.
so George Carlin,
Yes. That was
what a man.
So that was a fun field trip.
It was.
And I highly recommend that.
Yes, and you should find it and go see it. Since I saw it in '99, I've always loved that Jesus.
Oh my gosh, the friendly
statue.
Jesus. What do
Yeah.
they call him again?
Buddy
Jesus.
Buddy Jesus. It was like seeing it brand new, and it was amazing, and yet it's sometimes shocking. I'm like, ooh, that is
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing, and I think we do
Little
have that other thing.
shocking.
The it's pre 9/11 humor really.
Oh,
is.
yeah.
It's nuts. It's just some of the stuff wouldn't pass muster, and now I know why. Some older people, now officially that's me or us.
Yeah,
say,
we're the
like,
old
it was
people.
different back then.
was
But
different times.
boy, when I see popular movies from back then, and especially popular indie movies, I'm even surprised at the indie movies. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah,
there's some
it's wide open
that's
for
a little bit.
see,
of
but that lets you
sexism and-
see evolution in thought.
Yes.
We're always evolving. So we might think that we're woke now, but there's a lot of shit that we need to be
Waking
woke.
up to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not folders in your cup. And the connections to the women's Bible were fantastic as well.
Yes.
Like calling God a woman.
I know. I love it. So what we're saying is the movie Dogma is a perfect complement to Biting All the Apples.
It is. This is our first bonus episode, and
And I hope you feel the bonus. That's good. And we'll see. I think, yeah.
and we hope it feels good.
Yeah, and we hope it felt great. So we'll be coming back with more readings from the Women's Bible and more thoughts and hopes and dreams and prayers. And always looking for input. Again, check the show notes.
Check the show notes. Check the TikToks. Check the YouTube shorts. And you can talk to us. We want to hear from you. Ooh. It makes it better. It feels better.
It does. And it's all about feeling. So
it is.
Until then, enjoy your summer solstice.
Summer solstice. Longest days of the year. Soak them up, people.
Soak it.
Do not go inside until the sun sets. And if you are a prophet, just leave the sun up. You can do that.
But for now, the sun is setting on this episode.
Goodbye.